don't know. Hello, everyone. I'm here with Rachel and her beautiful. We were just talking about her absolutely gorgeous speckles. I already removed her color off the first hand, and I realized that I haven't come on and said hey to y'all in a while, so I figured I would just come on and we'll just remove together. So I'm just using this is my zebra sanding bands that I have, and it is I have it on pretty high speed right when I'm on top in the middle, and then going around the cuticle area I lower my speed quite a bit, and I just kind of feather up towards the cuticle. I don't like to be on top of the natural nail, so that's what I call it, is kind of feathering up. And I'm just taking off her color and thinning this out quite a bit. She has a natural high arch, so if I go totally flat, I'm going to be onto her nail. You guys can kind of see she already has this natural high arch. So I'm just taking this down really good and thin. So this is when I crank the speed. I have my Valentino on kind of low. Hi everyone, Cindy, Carrie, Heather, hello. I'm going to turn that up a little bit more just because the dust went a little farther than I wanted it to. So again, I'm just feathering up towards the cuticle. That helps remove any kind of hair lifting or anything like that. These are a good month old, as my clients typically will go. Lisa. You can say hi to Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
These are friends. You know the ring, that's what it is. Hi, Vienna. So again, coming over towards the side, I slow down. I use a foot pedal so I don't have to go back and forth touching my E-file. I can crank it up when I'm on top in the middle of the nail and slow down around the cuticle much faster than if I'm constantly having to go back and forth to my box and turn down the speed. Thinning that down. Saying goodbye to everybody's Christmas nails. This was Classy and the Gel Play 24K around the tip. Oh, okay, so I just made a boo-boo. So what I'm gonna have to do there is stick a form under that and re-sculpt out that little corner. See, I make mistakes. I just caught that with the edge of my E-file and I took off what was there. So that's how thin I'm making this, is getting these really thin. So if you catch it with your E-file, you're going to have to fix that. So I'll just stick a form under there when I do the 30-day manicure layer, re-extend that out, and it'll be fine. So again, cranking this up. And these sanding bands are really nice. They don't have a lot of heat, and they remove the product really, really well. Carbide bits and things like that are totally fine. I know a lot of you really like the Mean Green and Orange Crush and some of those. I just prefer sanding bands. And this sanding band is my absolute favorite thing that I've found lately. So I've been throwing some in orders. So if you've been ordering from me, I've been trying to get some out to everybody so you guys can give them a shot. Along with the glitter of the month. Well, actually the glitter of a few weeks. I sent out this glitter, kind of see this one has been going out in orders earlier this month, but now I've switched over, and if you're ordering from me right now, you're getting a Valentine's glitter, so that's pretty fun. And then I have some Mardi Gras glitter all set to go out for a few weeks, and then St. Patrick's Day. All right, so we're ready to go. You can use a regular towel. You can use soft landings. I just like the thickness of these towels because I have a, glass surface, so it's really hard. All right, let me dry my implements. China says she tried it out and loved it. Good, China. Yeah, I loved it. They're very, very smooth sanding bands. When you get them, they are, they look like this, but I don't know why it makes it such a difference, but they really come out without a lot of heat, which is just heavenly. So how was your Christmas, Rachel?
It was fun.
Tell the world.
It was quiet.
Quiet's nice.
Yeah. Small.
I need to turn the volume off on this bad boy. All right, so quick push around the cuticle. So you want to do a glitter fade. Do you want, and you want to do it with rose gold.
Yes.
Do you want like a metallic tip and then rose gold glitter faded in the middle? And so then you're all kind of in the rose gold world. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Pretty, yeah.
So this has a metallic here. So if you want to do metallic, or you could do the super shiny rose gold. Or what I could do is do the tip like this and use this to fade. Or there is also this rose gold glitter that I could use for the faded part, which is a Luxio rose gold. So there's all these rose gold options.
Kind of like that one with that faded.
Those? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go with the pink champagne, which is a metallic rose gold. We'll do that on the tip. And then we'll fade on the glitz for a little bit and then fade it to clear just because then it grows out nice. Which is good. She loves your ring.
Thank you.
How can you not? I remember when you got engaged. That's how long I've known you.
It's been a long time.
It's a long time. All right, so I just pulled this bit out of my disinfectant. It's really important to make sure you dry your bits. Nicole just posted a lovely picture of someone's sorry, it's a reading comment. Erin says I just choked on her ring. I know. Do you guys want to see it up close again? Hello. That's some serious sparkle if I ever saw something. You want to make sure that your bits are really good and dry. This is the 29S, which is, I think it stands for sharp. But it's a really nice prep bit. I love this bit. It lifts up the cuticle really nicely. And she doesn't have much going on, let's be real. She's got really nice cuticles. So I'm not going to have to spend much time on them at all. So this is just going to help lift it up and prep it. And since I've started using this bit, I have one client in particular who had just thick overgrowth constantly. And it was taking me forever to scrape everything every time she came in. That was like what I spent most on her nails. And since I started using this bit on her, she has way less overgrowth. So it's not just helping when you're actually going to use it, but it's helping with just day-to-day overgrowth, which is pretty cool. But you don't have much. But it helps lift up right here. And you can use this really high. I know a lot of Europeans tend to use their bit like all the way up. You can hear the difference. I'm more like about probably 10. And this goes up to, I think, 30 or 40. So it's quite a bit lower. All right, quick dust. New file. So I'm just going to go through the prep process. I've done a million videos on glitter fades, so unless you guys that are watching specifically want me to just keep going for the entire thing, then I will let you get back to whatever you're doing in the world. All right, do you want me to shorten these at all or just reshape?
Maybe shorten
A little bit?
Yeah.
This good?
Yeah.
Okay. So When I'm doing an almond shape, I always make sure that I'm filing around the edges and then come up from underneath, because if you don't come up from underneath when you are doing an almond shape, you're going to get hooking, and that's not cute. So we want to make sure that you come up from underneath, and do that when you shorten so that you can have a more even nail. So where in Hawaii are you guys going?
Where are we going? Oahu.
Oahu.
Staying on Waikiki Beach.
Oh. That's nice.
Yeah. Just for 3 days.
Oh, that's a long way to go for just 3 days.
It is.
You're like, I don't care. It's sunshine, and although it's been nice winter this year, we have not had that much rain.
Lofa's being inducted into the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, congratulations,
So, yeah.
Lofa.
Very exciting.
I guess there's a good reason then. It's not just vacay.
Yeah, I wish it was just vacay, but at the same time, it's for a good cause.
Yeah, that's exciting. So you have to wear a fancy dress.
Yeah, it's formal aloha attire.
What
Whatever that is.
What does that
We're
mean?
still trying to figure it out.
So shortening it, because I'm not shortening a ton. That's why I didn't do it with my e-file. If she had gone a long time and I knew I'd be shortening a ton, I would have just chopped it with my e-file. But we had shortened them quite a bit last time, and so. And when you're going on vacation, you always want them a little bit longer.
True.
It's true, right?
I just know I might go a while in between, so I don't
Yes.
want them to
You'll be seeing one of my lovely friends next time, Patricia or Danielle, who are both going to be here filling in for me.
What did you mean by hooking?
So when your nails grow out, especially with, a lot of the time with almond-shaped nails, you end up with the nails growing down. So I'm trying to check the length on these. I like to keep these about the same, which means that her nail bed on this one's actually longer than this one. So I've got to shorten this one up a bit more so that they will be even when you look at them. So hooking is when your nail's growing out and it starts growing down. So it's pretty typical. The longer you wear them, the more they're going to hook, just naturally. And if you don't shape from underneath, then you end up with it hooking down in the front. And you get like a claw going on.
Yep.
And that's not so cute.
Right.
So I try to make sure that that's even. All right, it's much closer. So when you have a client that has nail bed lengths that are different like that, and I have quite a few where the middle nail bed will actually be shorter than the other, you're measuring from the cuticle to the tip, and you're trying to get them as close as possible. So in this one, if you measure all three of these, cuticle to tip, this one can come down a little bit. But if you were to actually look at the nail bed length, this nail bed is way longer than this one. But when you look at them from the top, you want them to all look even. So in order to do that, you measure, you ignore the length of the nail bed and you measure just from the cuticle to the tip.
Sorry, I always feel like this nail is always longer.
Because if you're looking at it from the underneath, it is.
It is, yeah.
But if you look at it from the top, you don't want to have one that's looking stubby.
Yep.
So you ignore what it looks like from underneath and you look at what it looks like from the top, because that's where you're going to be looking at your whole hand and you want it to look even. Keep going. Brianna wants to hang out with us longer. So I'm always keeping an eye on my clock. If you book your clients at an hour, then you want to make sure you know how long it takes you to do everything. So my removal and prep process, all of this up until I'm applying product, I try to keep it at the half-hour mark. Then for that second half hour is applying product. So if you are doing your fills or your gel manicures and you're having to finish file, then it's going to take you longer. So You just need to figure out what your time schedule is like. And if you have clients that wear their nails quite a bit longer, obviously it's going to take you longer as well. So I'm checking this kind of the length. I want to kind of gauge how the length is on the thumb here. A little bit shorter. All right. And of course, I went around the cuticle on each of these and prepped with my my hand file. Even though I hit right underneath with my e-file, it's not necessarily going to get everything that was growing out. So you want to make sure that you're hitting the whole of the nail with your hand file. Coming up flat to prevent the hook. So this thing that I've been pushing around on her, this is my wrist assist, and it's fabulous because if I want her hand pushed farther or closer, it just rolls really, really well. I do sell those online. Robin invented them. Robin Stopper, she's amazing. And she came out with this fabulous idea. Just gonna get this hangnail that is going to drive her crazy and make her pick. So this is how you want to measure. So looking at these two, I want to measure cuticle to tip again. Shorten until it looks about right. Okay, go ahead and put that one in. Or not in, sorry. Just you may have it back. You may take it. It's 10:23 a.m. Good morning. Where are you from, China? Where is she from? She's on our coast. That's good. Amy, hello. Good to see you. I'm very excited to meet Amy at Nail Camp East. I believe we just had another registration, that was a full price registration, which means that I believe those of you waiting for the drawing for the big swag bag for Nail Camp East, it will be happening shortly. So that's exciting. There are still spots to sign up, of course, and if you want to go and you just want to do a deposit, but you want to save your spot because there is a limited amount of space, you can do that. That's what a lot of people have done, which is just a $200 deposit, but it's a 4-day weekend of nails, and I do all of my classes for free. It's included for the whole weekend. And all of your meals are included, and your lodging is included, and your swag bag, and Amy Masters is going to be doing a keynote, as well as Holly Skippers, which we send big hugs out to Holly. She has been in the hospital. She had a terrible accident. Snow, you know? We don't ever deal with the snow here in Seattle. I know people think we do because it's north, but we really don't get snow here. Oh, goody, Amy. I'm so excited. I really hope you will. West has been just as busy with registrations, even though it's so much farther out, because we have so many that have been to the Northwest Nail Retreat where I used to organize the event up in Seattle. So now I'm organizing it in Boise instead. And but because so many have experienced it, they signed up quick, because there's an early bird deal on that one. So it'll be just as busy, which is going to be very exciting. Yes, Charlene. All right. In some states, you guys can't clean up cuticles. I'm very sorry. But in this state, we can, thank goodness. It's true. In some states, they're not allowed to, do hangnails. They're not allowed to do anything. Which,
Really?
I know. Yeah. It's crazy. There's certain laws in some states that make no sense. And in some states, they're completely just doing away with licensing altogether, which is not unusual. I mean, worldwide, there's really not that much licensing. So I know in our country, there's a lot of people that are really upset that they're taking licensing away. But in reality, if you see what the schools typically teach, it's almost pointless. I think that certifications are important, and testing, I think, to know the diseases is important. So you've been exposed to that. But when it comes to practicals, the people judging the practical don't know a whole heck of a lot about nails a lot of the time, and they're not really learning much about practical nails. So I don't know. Some states it's 200 hours, some states it's 600 hours. And in the end, they all come to camp and say, I learned more this weekend than I did in school. And I say, I know, it's unfortunate. All right, so this one is quite a bit shorter than everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a form onto this one as well, just so that it's a little bit more even. Because these ones are good. This one's a little bit long. All right, fold that for dust. China says next time. Alrighty. Well, maybe. I always tell people maybe there's a next time. There's not always. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so these are the two I'm gonna just pull out when I do her nails. This one, just make it a little bit longer. And these forms I like. I designed these 100 years ago. Larissa was, I don't even know, not even born, I think. So these are a good 10, 12 years old. But when I made them, there weren't very many large forms. Now there's a lot of larger forms, which is great for longer extensions and things like that. But this extra tab here is so that the form would close. Back when I made these, there was no LED lights. Yes, sir. Yeah. Not if that was hanging up. No, they're down underneath Alexio. So this is a fix-it. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Someone came and asked me a question. What was I saying?
The tabs.
The tabs. Oh, yeah. So when I made them, there were no LED lights. They were all UV lights. And if you remember, UV lights, they get hot. And a lot of times your forms would just pop open in the light, and it would drive me crazy because you put your hand in the light and then the form pops open and they come out and suddenly you have a very flat nail, which it was just not, it would make me crazy. So when I said we need our own forms, Accents didn't have any at the time. And so they sent me a whole bunch of paper and I got to design them, and that was fun. Hi, Jolie. That's so nice. What else have I designed and developed? Nothing that's out. I have other things in mind, but I need like patent lawyers and crazy things to get. Yeah, I haven't finished all that yet. A few people know what they are, but that's basically the main thing that we have out that I got to have my 2 cents in. Otherwise, they don't ask me about nothing. But yeah, my big thing in mind, I would like to eventually get done. Hanger. What else have I designed? I designed the poncho that I made my daughter. Just kidding. I was crocheting. Do you ever crochet or knit? You?
What?
Do you ever crochet or knit or anything like that?
No.
When I was in college.
It's complicated.
And when I was in college, I was at Wazoo. There's nothing at Wazoo, and I wasn't a huge partier. By then I was like my 3rd year in, and so everybody that was new was like all, you know, freshmen, and I just wasn't really my scene. So I was bored out of my mind, to say the least. There was no jobs, and it snowed so much. It was freezing. So one day I was like, well, there's a Walmart down the street. I'm going to go teach myself to crochet. So I went and got a book on learning to crochet, and I sat there in my boredom and taught myself to make things. So that Christmas I made scarves and blankets and all kinds of stuff. All right, so this is natural pink. What I just used, sorry, should have told y'all. I just used OptiBond. This is typically what I use for my base gel, for my sticky gel. You can use X-Bond or OptiBond. I'm faster in a pot than in a bottle. So, and this is my, what I call 30-day manicure layer. I'll move that out of the way. So it's also a fill layer. So when it comes to the world of nails, if you only offer like gel manicures and fills, and your gel manicures are always soak off, you're going to have a lot of people that will just do a gel manicure when in reality they really want a hard gel layer. But the word fill has this kind of negative connotation of, you know, it's fake nails, and a lot of people don't want fake nails. They want their natural nails, but they want them not to break. And for many who use a gel polish that is not flexible, that gets brittle and ages over time, their clients break their nails, you know, 3 to 4 weeks out, pretty easily. And so this thin layer of hard gel gives people the feeling that they have hard natural nails. They can grow their natural nail out, and then as you saw, I can zip off the color really quickly, but it's a very thin layer. I'm pillowing it towards the cuticle and then keeping my brush flat as I keep removing, because I always start with a lot of gel. It's much easier to remove gel than it is to keep adding it. So I'm constantly removing it and putting it back, and then just gliding it over the nail, brushing it off the tip, just so that there's no thickness on the tip. And this is natural pink. Natural comes in 4 colors: clear pink, and clear pink is the same thing as pink, so don't let that confuse you. It's literally just called natural pink. And I use the pink just because you can see how much is in your jar a little bit easier, and I go through it pretty often, so it helps me when I'm scraping the jar to see what's left. You'll find that your warm pink, the pigment in it makes it move just a little bit more, so it's a little bit smoother. So if you find that your natural pink is a little bit too stiff for you, a lot of times it's the temperature in your salon. If you have a salon that you turn the heat off at night, it gets really, really cold at night, your gel is going to be much stiffer in the morning. So if you can have a heating pad or something to put it on for 10 minutes, it's going to make it much easier to use. It's going to make it much smoother, because as it gets cold overnight, it gets much stiffer, and it's much harder to get a perfectly smooth gloss layer when you have a stiff gel. Really, really difficult. But I don't like the runnier gels personally. I know a lot of people love Enhance and Trinity. Trilite is the old UV one. We still have a lot of people that love Trilite. They're much runnier gels, and for me, I want to be able to do all 5 nails. I don't want it to run. I want it to work exactly as this gel works. This is how I found Accents, and I love it. And so it's got a different heat spec though, so your clients do need to know, based on your lamp. Everyone's lamp is different, so you'll need to know how fast your product gets hot. My clients kind of know when to come out so that it doesn't get too hot for them. But it does have a different heat spike, so that you have to learn, because it's all going to depend on what lamp you use. But this gel is it's my favorite. All right, so this one I am extending. So after I've done the cuticle area, now I'm going to go through and just work into the nail a little bit of length here, so that I can shape this and make it the correct length, because it was just a little bit short. And I'm just blending that in. And what I'm looking at is trying to just keep an eye on my line of light, make it as smooth as possible. Obviously I'm going to file this a little bit at the end, but I'm not going to have to file the surface if I can make this really smooth. So that looks pretty good. So see how much gel I'm adding? I'm going to be putting back at least half of that. It's just way easier to grab a bunch and then see all that going back in my pot. It's much easier to work with more gel on your brush than it is with not enough. And then right here in the front, I'm brushing down to remove the excess because there's always a little bump up there. And yes, doing this with a flat brush makes a huge difference. So this is the 106 flat brush, and they're not expensive brushes, but it makes a big difference. If you're using a brush that's an oval brush, a lot of times it has quite the belly, and when you're trying to do this technique, you get grooves in the nail. So you're like, why is mine so bumpy? Well, it might have a lot to do with the belly of your brush. This being a flat brush does not put grooves onto the nail. So it will make a big difference when you are trying to gloss over the nail. What classes am I teaching at Nail Camp East? Gail asks. If you go to the website, nailcamp.org, I have it listed over there, all the classes that I'm teaching. And if I have any requests while I'm there, I have no problem doing one-on-ones. The way Nail Camp works, it's super casual. So in the evenings when there's some extra shopping time, all of the booths are right where the classes are. So I can sit at my table while my girls work on any sales, and I can show you things that maybe you want to see. So it's like free one-on-one time during shopping time. We're just able to hang out, and I can answer questions. I can show you something that maybe you're not sure you saw in class or whatever the problem is. So I'm checking the line of light here, just trying to make sure it's pretty smooth, and I'm just going to hit this with my file. It's going to be a really easy fix. I'll move this up a little bit. So yeah, the classes are all listed at nailcamp.org, what I'm teaching. And as I said, all of mine are always free. If there's a certification class, I believe Karen Clark is going to be teaching certification class at Nail Camp East. So I'll be doing something else so that you guys can go to a class. I always like to make sure that there are free classes included. So if you come to Nail Camp and you pay the base rate, which includes your lodging and your meals and classes for the whole weekend, that you can go to classes for the whole weekend and not pay another dime if you don't want to. There are workshops and classes that educators are offering, and so some of them are way cheaper than you would get otherwise. For example, Lauren from Wildflowers does her class that's normally $250 for $99 at Nail Camp. So you do get quite a good deal on some of those classes. The certification class isn't free, but I will typically do a workshop that is, so that those of you who can't afford to pay for another workshop have somewhere to go and more nails to do. So, all right, just checking those. I'm going to play with this a little bit more, make sure I have enough right here on the tip to smooth out. Because if it's indented, then I have to come back and add more, and that's pain. All right. Am I teaching a class at Oregon Nail Expo? I am. My class is on Monday. All right, that's it for natural pink. So I'm going to switch brushes because I'm going to be using a metallic. And I can tell you right now, when you use the metallics, they never want to come out of your brush. So you want to make sure that you're using a different brush for your metallics. So I have one here that's just kind of full of glitter and stuff, and it makes the brush much stiffer. So if you use the metallics on your brush that you do your 30-day manicure with, it's going to be a much harder time gliding over the surface of the nail with that gel. So I suggest making sure you have a second brush. All right, the colors of choice: rose gold leaf, pink champagne. So these are the gel play. And I'm almost out of pink champagne. This is a really popular color. I'll flip it over. All of my jars need like just a really good scrub down. Who wants to come volunteer to scrub everything? Carrie's come and done that for me before, which has been super awesome, but it's just, I never have time. All right, so with the pink champagne, I'm just going to be doing a glitter fade. So I don't want to go on the entire nail. For this one, I'm going to go about halfway and then blend up. And this gel play, they're highly pigmented. You don't have to do 2 coats. So you just want to get one good even coat. Ah, Suki. Suki said that he used to use an oval brush until he met me and realized flat brushes make life easier. And it does. I do use an oval brush still if I'm building a sculptured nail and I'm moving the gel around a lot. I'll use an oval brush, but when I'm glossing over top glosses or that hard gel 30-day manicure layer, a flat brush is essential to get that easy, smooth situation. What did Suki say? You haven't seen this color? Oh my gosh, Suki. Suki has not seen this color. This color is essential in your lineup. I use it. It's probably one of my top 5 colors all year long. I use it a lot. It's pink champagne, it's a metallic, and it's really, really pretty. So I'm gonna wipe my brush, and I'm just gonna dab the end of this and blend it up. And I have some clients that this is all they wear. They just wear a blended color without any extra glitter all the time. Because as it grows out, it looks like it's supposed to the entire time. And sometimes I'll tell them, if you wanna hide the grow out, you can always just do a clear, layer of nail polish. So that it blends into your, oopsies, we touched. So that it blends into your natural nail. And that's a nice trick as well. So I do a lot of fades because I do have a lot of clients that go 3 to 4 weeks. Sometimes longer, you never know. So fades are life. I do a lot of them. Just because it hides it, you don't get a solid line.
I feel like I could do nails after hearing you explain all this.
Well, if anything ever happens to me. Except for that when you do your own, it takes a long time. People always ask me, do you do your own nails? And I said, yes, I do my own. And I'm heading off for a while and I'm debating, okay, do I get my nails done there? Do I take my stuff? And I'm so picky that I'm just going to end up taking my stuff. But, yeah, it still takes me like 6 hours to do my own. If I'm doing extensions, this is much faster. This is fine. But when I'm doing extensions, it takes me forever. Okay, so those are just blended. Easy. Go ahead in the light. So I'm going to close this. I don't want any dust in it. But I'm going to show you what's up. Wendy asked, I have a client moving soon. How can I find her an accents tech to send her? So you can send me a message and I can let you know if I know of any in the area where she's moving to. Or I can post it on in the educator forum with accents and see if anyone knows anybody. So all I'm doing is going around, creating my shape, and then checking from the barrel to see where I need to blend it. I didn't remove the tacky. It's fine. Because I don't want to have to file the entire surface of the nail. If I remove that tacky layer, I have to file the entire surface of the nail. And I don't want to. So I'm not going to. So this is that one that I fubbed up. I forked up. Do you watch that show? No. What is it called? Oh, The Good Place.
Oh, I've heard of it.
You can't curse on The Good Place, and so everything is forked. Yeah, it's pretty funny. You like that? Isn't that cute?
Ooh. Should keep it like that.
Yeah. Flaming nails. So a lot of times I will have my clients tuck their hand under, so just tuck, and that'll help prevent dust from getting on the other nails. Make sure I come from underneath. And then I'm just going to check the length and come out with that one. We're going to see where we're at. Just about right there. All right, so do that. Now I'm going to check down the barrel and make sure that this isn't too thick around the edges. The shape is all right. Okay, pink champagne. I'm back at it. So that is how I fix a nail too short. And because the tacky layer is still there, I don't have to worry about this gel not sticking. Suki, I hope you're planning to come back to nail camp. Come to Atlanta. It's going to be fun. It's in May. It'll be a good weekend. Should be nice weather in Atlanta in May. Come see all the new people. Tracy Vincent's coming, which I'm really excited for her to experience nail camp, and the Profiles girls and the lovely Amy Masters. There's some people that are coming to educate that have never done nail camp. So you have to come and give them a warm welcome for those of you who have been. It's going to be fun. It's at a really nice resort too, so it's pretty exciting. Move that up a bit. A little close on the situation.
Does that mean?
You can read.
What would you do if there wasn't a tacky layer?
If there isn't a tacky layer, you're going to have to file it because you don't want to be putting gel on top of a non-tacky or non-filed layer. When you do that, you risk separation, and that's how you get delamination. That's how you get separation of your color. So if you're doing a hard gel layer that cures without a tacky layer, and then you put your color on top, you're going to see chipping. You're going to see chipping. You're going to see all kinds of problems. So you want to make sure that you are applying your gel onto either a tacky layer or a sticky layer. I'm sorry, they're both the same thing. A tacky, comma, sticky layer, or a filed layer. So you either need the nail buffed or filed, or it needs to be tacky. One of the two. Otherwise you will see chipping, and chipping is no bueno. But that's how you get, that's why we have problems sometimes with, you know, chromes and things like that. Separating is because you're not working on top of a buffed or tacky layer. So it's a whole different art doing chromes, trying to get those to seal in perfectly. But it's one of the issues of life. Okay, all right, so that's blended. Good morning, Karen. Okay, so this is the rose gold leaf. And this is one of the Glitz gels. We have 9, I believe, Glitz colors, which are fabulous. I used the gold on her on the last set that I just removed for Christmas. So with this one, when we fade these, so I'm just going to dab in the center of the nail. And this is how I do all my fades. I go ahead and just apply first and then fade. Just because I find it faster. Excuse me. Someone tagged me in an Instagram video yesterday or the day before. It was so cute. It was her cat watching my videos.
That is cute.
I was like, oh, that's so cute. I feel like I should do a video. I haven't done one in a while. But I also had a couple really nice YouTube comments of people that said they were appreciative. So that makes me feel like I should just get on and talk, even though I feel like I say the same thing all the time. But I don't know.
I've been watching my neighbor's cat for the past few days since
Uh-huh.
he went away. It's such a pretty cat. But the other day I went into their house, checked him, and he must have wanted to play because as I was walking down the stairs, he just jumped and like attacked my leg.
Oh my.
You know how they do that?
Uh-huh.
Kind of jump out at you.
And you hope that they don't have claws.
Yeah, he doesn't have claws, but teeth.
Oh, great.
Scared the crap out of me.
I bet. So I'm just lightly touching this. So my goal is to push a little bit of the glitter towards the cuticle so that it's got a clear base at the cuticle. If you do too much, then you end up still with a line. So you don't want it to have a straight line. You want it to look like as it grows out, it was faded up on purpose. So I'm using just the corner of this brush, and I'm just lightly feathering up just from the very top of that dab of glitter. I'm just feathering up just a little bit of the glitter so that it goes to clear. Same thing from the bottom. Then I'm just pulling down from the bottom and feathering it over the metallic. I miss our kitties. I have a friend that's taking care of them while the house is on the market and everything. Although now we're gonna have to go into a rental house because I have to have somewhere to do nails. So we'll not be able to have them then either.
We're getting kicked out of our house in June.
Oh, joy.
They want to sell it. So, yeah, we just found out the other day.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
So now you are on the market to find your own house.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, you were almost buying last year.
Moving.
Well, that's why you buy one and you stay there.
I know.
I would offer mine, but it's much smaller than what you're used to. And not in the same area.
6 people, really. I need to...
Yeah. All right, so that's blended in. It fades up to clear. As this grows out, it's going to look like it was on purpose. So that's pretty fun. But you can blend it halfway up the nail. It depends on how people want it. If they want a lot more clear in their blending, then you would apply your glitter here and you would just fade up just to here. So with this, this gives her a lot of color, but then as it grows out, you don't see a line. So it's kind of the best of both worlds as far as she's going to have a lot of color now, but as it grows out, you're not going to see it. So you can kind of gauge your fade. And once people have been getting fades for a while, they'll typically tell you, I want a lot more clear at the base, or they want a lot more color. I guess I should have asked what she wanted, but she likes color, so.
I'm not picky.
Yeah, that too.
I like glitter.
She likes glitter, so we're just going to make it happen. You keep up with me. Suki says he tries to keep up with me. You're so funny. Well, watching the clock, so I have 5 minutes left, so I'm running just probably 2 minutes behind. But all I have left after this is just top coat, and then I do a quick file around the edges. So not too bad, keeping pretty close to my required time. So I'll probably go a little faster during this fade. So it's important to always have a clock in eyesight in front of you so that you can keep up to where your time is. It's really important when you are trying to keep your clients in and out. You know, and one of the other things that's important is when you are new and you're trying to figure out how much time you need for stuff, don't give yourself too much time. So if I gave myself an hour and a half, I would put my brush down, we would chat, we would have so much more time, and I would end up using it. I would fill it. And so you take longer for your services when you give yourself longer. So when you're getting close to an hour where, okay, my fills maybe take an hour and 5 minutes, I'm going to start making it an hour. And then you only have 5 minutes where you've got to worry about, okay, I've got to try to shorten my appointments by 5 minutes. But giving yourself too much time, you're going to fill it, especially because we like hanging out with our clients. We like hanging out with you.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so we would fill it, and you would just end up chatting and spending that time. So giving yourself too much time is just as bad as giving yourself not enough time. So you kind of have to find the happy medium of how long it typically takes you and what you need to do. So with my clients that wear their nails a lot longer or tend to do a lot more art, I have just a different service that gives me 15 more minutes. And so they know they need to book that 15-minute longer appointment because I'm going to need that time. But if I always did that for everything, then I would end up running too short. So, I mean, I have clients that take me like, you know I can get their nails done in half an hour, but we fill up the whole time. You just do. So you need to make sure you're... Sorry, guys. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but apparently when my camera's on, it still lets them disturb. Now I know. Mm-hmm. All right, so this is Luxio Gloss. This is my favorite. And the reason is it just has just a slightly thicker viscosity than Shine On. I know a lot of people love Shine On. It's probably our biggest seller. But I tend to get it running into the cuticle more with Shine On, and that drives me crazy. Especially when I'm dealing with something like this where it's glitter. What I'm going to show you in a second is a trick that I do to make sure that there's no bumps. And if I do this trick with Shine On, it will for sure run. So after I gloss over all 5 nails, I just dab a little bit right in the center where the majority of my glitter is. Oh, see, that ran right there. Stick, wipe. It's warm in here. Okay, freeze. Suki, Shine On for life. Okay, so it's just a quick freeze. And that's to keep it from running. But when I'm doing a glitter where it's a little bit chunkier and I want to make sure I get a completely smooth surface, if I just dab it, go ahead and put that all the way in, then it will typically not run. But that pinky, I had done my first coat a little bit too thick already, which is why it ran. And it's warm. The warmer your salon, the more it's gonna run. And it's freaking freezing outside, so it's pretty warm in here. It can zing for a second, yeah. The top coat sometimes will zing. Some people feel it, some don't. If your client is during her cycle, she will feel it more, always. Which people find hilarious, but it is true.
It is true.
So again, I'm just gonna dab just a tiny little bit off my brush. Okay. And that's just going to do that. We're going to just freeze for a second. Minus 35. Jolene, where are you? Somewhere way too cold. Way too cold. Minus 35. I can't imagine. That's really cold.
It's really cold.
I'm going to be going to Lithuania, but it's not near as cold there. It's like 12. I can handle 12. Minus 35, Saskatchewan. See, I don't know how you Canadians handle it. I could not. It's too cold for me. All right, so this is cooked. Gave it a good wipe. So Shine On does not have a sticky layer, but Luxio Gloss does. Now, if I had stamped her, this mixture that I just put on her is a mixture of nail prep. It's about 50-50 nail prep and acetone because I do so much stamping, and then I can wipe anything off of her skin that might have been left over from stamping. So someone was asking me, how do I get it off? I've got Q-tips. I'm like, oh, no. Just put it in your wipe container so that when you go to wipe, it's all in one shot. So I'm just going around the edge, making sure that everything is perfectly smooth. This one bows just a little bit on the side. And so this is where my top gloss was running a little bit, so I'm just going to make sure I smooth that out and pull that right in here. Make sure that it's all perfectly smooth with no ridge. Okay, and then take your oil. Do I have any Valentine plates? Well, yes, my dear. I have updated the website, so if you go to Jess's Seasonal Favorites, it's either seasonal favorites or holiday favorites, something like that. Those have all of the new, oh, that's in Celsius. Oh, good, Jess. Gosh, yeah, that helps. Minus 35 Fahrenheit is really cold. Okay, so if you go to lovenails.com and you click on the holiday or seasonal link, I can't remember what it was that I called it. It has been updated with all of the Valentine's and wintry colors and seasonal plates and those kinds of things. The brand new plates are up there, but they're on their way from Clear Jelly. So if you order one of the ones that are brand new, it'll ship in the next few days once the shipment comes in, because there are some brand new and Clear Jelly ones. But I do have, this is an Uber Chic plate. I've been using this lace already quite a bit. This one's called Love and Marriage too, and it has some fun Valentine's hearts. So I've been using that a lot. This is the Flourish one that I used yesterday. And let's see, I have a whole bunch of these Love and Marriage ones. This is a different lace one that I've been using a lot. I like lace. So Those I keep on my table. But I need to go grab the new ones. As soon as they come in, I will put them on here, and I'll go and do a video once they come in, because there are some really cute new plates that they just came out with. So they're feeding our addiction of more stamping plates. It's mean. You guys think we get them for you, but in reality, we kind of get them for ourselves. Because we enjoy them as much. All right, Suki, see you later. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. Hopefully there's some trick or tip that you guys picked up today. And these beautiful rose gold nails, which rose gold's lovely.
Ooh. Thanks with everything.
Thanks for hanging out with us. And her ring. Does this ring have a name? It should have a name. I feel like it needs to be named. So there you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.